welcome. This is, my name is Andrew Goodrich, and we'll do the Scituate Town update today. I hope everyone had a safe but good Labor Day weekend. Want to just remind folks, too, that tonight the Board of Selectmen meeting will actually be on Zoom. You can go to the website, to the town website, go on the agenda, and the link there for Zoom is right there. It's at 6:30 tonight, so if you'd like to join the meeting and join us virtually, please do so. We received a lot of emails and questions about both the water quality and also the reservoir, how it's looking, quite low. And so I'd like to Jim Boudreau, our town administrator, to give us an update on what's happening there.
Sure. First, the COVID update that I'll do first. I do all the time. Scituate had 3 new cases since last week. That might seem like a lot, but only one of those cases was actually here in Scituate. 2 are Scituate residents that are actually out of state. They contracted COVID out of state and they're quarantining out of state. But because this is their hometown, they will be on our COVID list as of tomorrow. So we're still doing pretty well. 1 case is not bad. The state infection rate was almost double yesterday what it was last week at 2.2, but that will go up and down. We do expect over the next 10 days, 2 weeks, to potentially see a spike from the Labor Day weekend, but hopefully here in Scituate everybody followed the rules and had a safe holiday weekend while wearing masks and sanitizing. So the big thing now will be whether Labor Day causes a spike, and obviously what Superintendent Burkhead will talk about, which is going back into the schools. As Andrew mentioned, our reservoir is down significantly. We're at about 37.5% full. That's down about 1.5% from the previous week. We got about 0.3 of an inch of rain at the treatment plant. Usage was up around 700,000 gallons a day last week. That's up from the 580,000 gallons a day of the week before. That's to be expected. We didn't have any rain, really measurable rain, and the Labor Day weekend would drive those numbers up. So hopefully, though, after Labor Day, we are generally on the downside of usage, so hopefully those numbers will continue to drop. We have seen the manganese levels in the reservoir drop with the addition of the well 17A water into the pond. That's reduced the temperature of the water in the pond, so those levels have gone down. We've also started adding the treatment for manganese at the plant. That started last week. The initial results are showing a reduction in manganese levels that are leaving the plant, and we'll continue that treatment process and adjust the dosage as necessary. So we're hoping that we are seeing an improvement in the system. We are still seeing some complaints, not what they were in the middle of the summer, though, when the pond was just stagnant. So once we get a little bit of water back and we get some rain, we will again start our flushing program and flush the system this fall and in the spring. And that's going to be dependent entirely upon how much water we have. But that is something we need to keep doing in order to get this problem finally put to bed. The Water Resource Committee has a new web page on the town website with all the information related to water usage and conservation tips. ScituateMA.gov/water if you want to get any of those tips on how to plant your lawn or do any of that stuff. 3 construction updates. So we have the Cedar Point construction project will be commencing this week. This week will be mostly prep work, putting in the erosion controls, doing some last-minute survey work and things like that. The construction will actually ramp up significantly next week. This is a fairly substantial construction project. There will be disruptions out there. We will be posting updates every week for the next 2 weeks out of what the contractor will be doing. We'll also have the signboards and police details down there, but a lot of the time, as this project is going on, Cedar Point, the streets will be one way, and one side will be closed. You'll have to go 2 ways on the other side. So people will need to be careful and pay a lot of attention to what's going on out there. And again, we'll be putting that information out every week on the Friday before, so people will have an idea what's coming up the next week. That project is scheduled to continue until May of 2021. Egypt Beach, as everybody knows, we had a very large and robust Zoom call last week on the Egypt Beach project. We had over 140 people on the call. That is going to recommence this week. The project will be done now on Egypt Beach with significantly smaller stones than what was used on Man Hill and the Surfside end. Those stones will also be buried a little bit deeper into the berm, and then we will take some of the existing stone and put it back over so those stones will not be visible. And again, when you look at Man Hill, at the end of Man Hill, the amount of stone is almost 6 feet of additional stone that was put on the berm. At Egypt Beach, it's 18 to 24 inches, so it's a much, much smaller project with the much smaller stones. We did leave some stones down there last week for people to look at if you want to go see what they look like. They are as close as we can get to what's there, while still providing this necessary stability we need in that berm. So that'll be out there. I'm not sure if the contractor is going to be out there tomorrow or Thursday with the Labor Day weekend. It kind of threw him off a little bit. Last but not least, I think this will be the last time I'll have this. The athletic fields have been turned over to the town. All that's left out there is really some punch list items and another set of storage bins that'll be put up behind the softball field. We expect it to be complete by the end of the month, but at this point it is ours, and it's just punch list going on. The contractor will be back to do some slice seeding in the fall when we get some rain, but we are looking to talk to the school department and the selectmen about having some sort of ribbon cutting opening ceremony while still following all our social guidelines and distancing guidelines. But that is a phenomenal facility. It came out fantastic. I hope the people use it, and as importantly, I hope the people take care of it, police themselves, police others, make sure you're not leaving trash, make sure you're not dragging stuff across the fields, make sure you're not riding your bikes and doing things on the track. The rules are there, but if people take care of that field, that'll be a phenomenal facility for a lot of years to come for people to use. So at that point, that is what I have for today.
No golf, right? No golfing on the
Absolutely
fields.
no golfing on the turf fields. That is,
Please, no golfing on the fields.
that will destroy the fields very quickly, people hitting golf balls on those turf fields. So please refrain. If you want to go hit off turf, we actually took some of the remnants of the turf and we put them down at the driving range at the golf course. So if you want to hit off turf, get out of the golf driving range and hit off turf down there.
Perfect. Thank you. I guess we'll turn it over to Superintendent Burke. So I have 3 children going to go into Wampatuck in just a few weeks.
1 week.
1 week. And, what can we expect? What can we know? So
Great.
turn it over to you.
Thank you. And we're excited, and it's been a little over a week now. We're in our second week with our teachers and paraprofessionals back, along with our administrators preparing for the reopening. We're excited. There's energy in the buildings. Just to share some dates, because it is coming quickly. The first day of school is next Wednesday, September 16th, for grades 1 through 12. That first Wednesday will be a fully remote day in our schedule. Thursday, September 17, the buses will roll for the official first day. Kindergarten's first day will be also on Thursday, September 17th, and our Early Childhood Center first day will be on the following Monday, the 21st. Each school will be sending out specific details this week for parents, families, and caregivers, so we look forward to that information coming out soon. We believe strongly in making decisions during the COVID-19 era based on science and data. We have developed the Scituate Public Schools Medical Advisory Committee that meets weekly or as needed. It's comprised of the Board of Health Director, the town nurse, school physician, town pediatrician, high school nurse, superintendent, and director of business and finance. We discuss policies, protocols, and to develop and monitor a metric for reopening and potential closing for schools. This group met last week and has a draft copy of a metric with recommendations and guidance using the science and data to make decisions on moving also from the phases, from the hybrid phase to the remote phase, and back and forth, and to fully reopening. This group will also meet this week to revise and assess that draft, looking at any available and current research, and will do so as the year progresses. Also, our school nurses have been busy putting together a comprehensive packet of information that will be sent home to all families this week. Included in the packet will be guidelines for COVID-19 symptoms and protocols, and a very comprehensive, frequently asked questions document that we believe will be helpful to our families. A lot of the questions that we've been asked with very specific, detailed answers for you. You can also contact your school's principals and nurses with any questions and follow-ups. The Medical Advisory Committee looks to join with the school nurses at our next school committee meeting, which is Monday, next Monday, to present the nurse leader presentation of all the information that's going out to families. So maybe a simpler, comprehensive version of that will be presented with the metric update also. And then that will be followed up to parents in the community and available on our website. This week, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education will launch its public awareness campaign to help remind parents, students, and teachers that everyone needs to do their part to keep each other healthy and safe as the school year starts. We also want to extend this to our community members and students and families when we're not in school, to make sure to social distance and to be responsible to mitigate the spread of the virus, especially now that we'll be returning to school. And additionally, the Department of Education has developed a checklist for families to consider when working to prevent the spread of COVID. This information will also be sent out in this week's weekly Thursday Thoughts, the Scituate Public Schools digital newsletter. We're real excited to have our fields ready and kids coming back. Sports is also back on the docket for fall. We'll be having more information on that next report, and we look forward to seeing everybody next week. Thank you.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to speaking to everyone next week. Take care.